Has your teacher ever asked you to read a text or a piece of writing with a close eye? Have they ever told you, when you're reading this quotation, make sure you're doing a close reading? I bet they have, but have they explained what a close reading is?
Spoiler alert, probably not.
Don't worry, that's why I'm here today, to help you understand what a close reading is and how close readings can benefit your textual arguments. Howdy, I'm Sonja and I write, and today I'm here with my co-host, MinecraftSheep. And for today's lesson, we are here to help you understand what a close reading is. So instead of keeping you for so long, why don't we just dive right into today's work? So what is a close reading, and why can it help us to prove an argument in an essay? A close reading, also recognized as a critical analysis, is the practice of analyzing a specific quotation within a piece of writing. Here is an example that we can work through together in order to help us get a greater understanding of what a close reading is. Take the popular fantasy story Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. Flipping open the book to page 21, I have selected the following quote for analysis. Quote, "Maven is far from foolish. He is wicked, but not stupid." From the quote selected, let us ask ourselves the following questions in order to promote a close reading. What type of wording is used here? What does the wording tell us about the character Maven? And even more so, what does the wording tell us about the narrator? Does she know something that other characters don't? What context is this phrase being said in? Who is the narrator talking to? Does the meaning of this quote change if the narrator is speaking solely to herself? Why or why not? And lastly, what can we argue from this quote? Here is an example of an argument that can be created from this quote. In the above quotation, the narrator explains that Maven, a character in the book Glass Sword, is, quote, far from foolish, wicked but not stupid. While she highlights the intelligence of Maven, the narrator is also unknowingly highlighting her own intelligence, as she is able to distinguish how smart Maven is, while others seem to believe him to be foolish. Without knowing much background on this quote, I'm certain that you aren't able to answer most of these questions. However, with a close reading, these are the types of things you must ask yourself during analysis. Now that we have a general understanding of what a close reading is, let's discuss some helpful tips that will not only make our reading ability stronger, but will also help us to form concrete arguments surrounding our selected quotations. 1. Avoid broad generalizations. When making an argument, the last thing we want to do is be general. Generalizations is not only a lazy form of writing, but also lets opposing opinions easily argue around your ideas. For instance, consider our earlier quotation from Glass Sword. It would be a poorly stated argument if one said, "In Glass Sword, Maven is not foolish because, like all men, he is smart." The generalization of all men being smart has created a lack of a structured argument and does not make use of the quotation. A better argument could be, in Glass Sword, Maven is identified as a smart character when the narrator addresses him as, quote, far from foolish, wicked but not stupid. Number 2. Avoid moral judgment. When analyzing any piece of writing, it is best that our personal biases stay at bay, unless, however, the argument we are pursuing is based on our own beliefs. So unless your teacher has told you to input your own opinions, it is best to hold off on dishing them out. Here is an example using the quote from Glass Sword to showcase what not to do with your close reading. In Glass Sword, Maven is not a smart character. Even though he is said to be smart by the narrator, I do not like him, thus he is not smart. Although it is a personal opinion that Maven is not smart, this can easily be disproved by the fact that he is called wicked and far from foolish. Number 3. Don't rely on plot summary. Rather than summarizing a quotation, giving people the gist of what was said, you should always write the exact quote. This makes for the most effective argument. Here's a little pop quiz to test your knowledge. Knowing that plot summary is not an effective method of close reading, pick the quote that sounds most effective to you. A. In Glass Sword, Maven is identified as a smart character when the narrator addresses him as, quote, far from foolish, wicked but not stupid. Or B. In Glass Sword, the narrator says that Maven isn't foolish or stupid, making him a smart character. If you chose option A, you'd be correct. Option A showcases a proper close reading, whereas option B uses plot summary rather than the actual quote, making the argument less effective. Think of a close reading as a grilled cheese sandwich. There are 3 components to our sandwich: bread, cheese, and bread. Our first slice of bread, the top of our sandwich, is our quotation. In order to do a close reading, you first need a quotation to build your analysis off of. Without this slice of bread, we wouldn't be able to make the rest of our sandwich. Next, you're going to need the cheese. The cheese, following the bread, is our analysis. In order for a close reading to be successful, we need to analyze the above quote. And finally, our final slice of bread in our grilled cheese sandwich is an argument. With both a quote and an analysis, we can now produce a successful argument. So if you ever find yourself trying to recall the steps of a proper close reading, think back to the grilled cheese analogy. And there you have it, the basics of a close reading explained with examples, all in one video. If you like what you learned here today, or if you have any ideas for future lessons that you want me to teach, leave a like on this video and a comment below on what you want to see me post next. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're looking for more of my writing content, be sure to check out my Patreon page called Sonja Writes. I'll see you all next time. Bye!